Hey everybody.
Hi.
Look, we came back after
We're
11 months? 30, 13 months?
I was thinking like about 200 months it feels like.
Yeah, 1100 months. I'm Acadia and this is Mel's, and after Mel screwed me over and in like a bunch of different ways, there was a lot of what's the right word? Groveling. So I decided to bring the show back because it was sufficient eventually. Is that a good representation?
Yeah, I'll just go let you have that. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Acadia. Yeah.
You might remember Mel's from having to do the end of the last American Horror Story show all by herself.
Yes.
And it was because she had stabbed me. And I didn't want anybody to know at the time because it would have hurt viewership.
We didn't want y'all to know the real the violence that goes on
Yep.
between Acadia and myself.
So, and then we like were a couple dirty stayouts and went stepping out on another podcast. So you can go find Yikes Murder and stuff, and we're on that. You know,
Yes.
making that awesome because I guess that's our lot in life. We're like the Johnny Appleseeds of entertainment. We just poop out little seeds of smiles and glee everywhere we go.
We're just putting our seeds
Yes,
everywhere. We're
I'm spreading my seeds.
spreading our seeds everywhere. There you go.
That's terrible. So now we're going to do this every Friday night. Why, you say? Because A, we weren't doing anything else on Friday night. Two, there was another American Horror Story thing, which means that there'll be 1,000 clickbait articles a week that we get to sift through. Roman numeral 3, we missed doing the show. And finally, capital D, we got to get to like 1,000 subs before we make any money on the YouTube channel. So we better really step up our game.
Yeah.
Which is why I put the Batman thing there. You see?
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na,
Oh
Batman.
yeah, actually.
I love that. It's
True.
just I love the light, everything. It looks amazing. It's almost as if I am Commissioner Gordon and I put up the bat signal for you, Acadia, to return to me.
That's
And
true. You know what?
you have appeared.
That's good because that is pretty much how it went down. I'm willing to sign on to that. But we tried to do it fancy so that we had like split screens and like a bunch of other shit, but we didn't really get it together because even though we had, a year, we just started working on it like 2 hours ago. So maybe by next week we'll have that together. And you might not know, if you don't listen to Castle Rock Historical Society or read the gallery or anything like that, you might not know that now I'm back in North Kakalaka forever, and I'm super poor because nobody will hire me. So this is basically it. So just wad up some money and shove it into your CD drive if you still have one. And if you don't, then I guess use the money you're saving to buy a computer.
To try to help out Acadia.
Right.
I know y'all didn't think that the first like 3 hours of this broadcast was going to be Acadia just in his pity party, but just so y'all all know,
jar it out because the fucking trailer is only 45 seconds long.
I know. You're right.
And if I hadn't killed that old bitch Lorraine Warren, we wouldn't have enough news stories.
Oh, R.I.P. Lorraine. Man. Yeah, we got to really talk about that because that's
we can do that first, I guess, because out of all the things that happened, that was the only one where someone actually died.
Well, and that's probably the most recent Oh, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with that. So, if you have not heard yet or read, Lorraine Warren, the clairvoyant that we know from her works with her husband Ed, I believe, she has passed away at the age of 92. I think what I read was that it was a heart attack. But at 92 years old, hey, she lived a really long and prosperous life. I mean, she's the ghost hunter. She does
robbed
everything.
a lot of people of their money with her fraudulent nonsense.
Well, yeah, okay. Now that you just gone ahead and opened up that can there, yeah, I was gonna say, I think that we know who she is. Obviously, she's kind of a pop culture icon in the horror world. But for me, I just know her best from some of the things that she did with Amityville. And then, of course, we all know about the movies. They were later became movies. So The Conjuring, Annabelle, those things. And funny because we are American Horror Stream. I do want to say it is a full universe here. It comes full circle because I believe, and you're going to have to forgive me because I never get her name correctly, but
nothing.
But the actress that played Lorraine in those movies that we just mentioned, her daughter is actually Thaisa, which is a staple in the American Horror Story universe. Did you know that?
Up. No, that ain't right.
Tell me not tell me I just dropped some knowledge on the almighty Acadia.
That can't be. No. How could a 20-year-old be the daughter of a 92-year-old lady?
No, not Lorraine Warren, you goober. I'm talking about the actress that plays her in the movies. Vera Farmiga, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. But yeah, so I if y'all did not tune into the last season of American Horror Stream, where we recapped the last season of American Horror Story, I had some knowledge dropped on me about who Billie Lourd was, who her mother is. So now it has come another full circle where I dropped some knowledge on Acadia here that Thaisa is the daughter of Vera. So little bit of everything kind of ties together in this universe. I like it. I don't know,
though. It might be. So it's Thaisa, right?
Right.
It's not her daughter. It's her sister.
Oh, no. It's not her.
So
I am officially shooketh. Wait a minute. Okay. Whoa. Thaisa's only 24 years old.
Yeah. And Vera's only 45. You can still be doing it.
I know. That is a bit of an age difference there. But hey, that's okay. So I'm gonna have to accept defeat again that you have schooled me once.
Yeah, but you know what? That's fine because that's a good way to start. Because since I wasn't in the last episode last season, I couldn't do anything. So, and not only that, but the Farmigas, or however it's pronounced, they're from Clifton, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And I used to work in Clifton, New Jersey. It's in northern New Jersey, right near the city. It's super expensive just because it's near the city, even though no one from there ever goes into the city.
So, can we sing the song? It's a small world after all. Oh, man.
I don't want those fucking puppets.
One day I'm going to be able to sing, and it's going to be appreciated by Acadia.
If you write an entire musical episode, then yes, I'll do it.
Okay, I will write it and you sing it because, like you mentioned earlier, now that we're on Yikes, Murder, and Stuff podcast, you do some very amazing work with the Killer Karaoke. So
that's my thing.
That's your thing. So you have the voice of the angels. So I'll write it for you and you sing it and perform it for us. How about that?
Yes, and I just had a really good idea.
Okay.
Like I literally just had it.
So if we had the animation right now, a light bulb would be above your head.
Yes, it would be a light bulb.
Okay. Yes.
So we're AHS.
Mm-hmm.
we can just be American Horror stuff. That way we just talk about stuff in horror in America and nobody can fuck with us.
I like it.
Right.
Okay. Here's my signature on that as well.
We'll need a new artist.
Oh.
Lorraine Warren was on, the last thing that she was on of note, as far as I know, was that fucking crazy show about the kids from Penn State that were ghost hunters.
Yes.
And they were always calling in Lorraine because she had nothing going on. So she'd always drive out to like shitheel Wisconsin to go, I think there's something.
She had nothing going on, but because she was in her 90s.
Yeah, but she was still fucking cha-chinging it.
This is true. You're right. You're right.
And all right, so you could say, oh my gosh, she was such a psychic and they really blew the lid off the Amityville horror case. Or you can say what a lot of other people say, which is big fat frauds that rob people. I don't care now, because my evidence would be if she had pissed off that many ghosts, then her corpse would have been flung from the sky with her like butt all gaped open, because once she died, the ghost would be all like, yeah, we knew you were coming, you old bitch.
You're terrible. You're terrible. It is true. I am curious to know if all of these connections that she made with the afterlife and all of these, spiritual things that she and Ed were able to do, it is kind of fun to sit here and think about it for a moment and wonder if these spirits have given her a warm welcome.
Oh, they've given her a warm something.
Oh man. So yes, unfortunately, Lorraine Warren, she has passed on to the afterlife. We don't know if we should expect any writings, any novels, anything out of this. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for that.
You know what she's going to do? Now that I think about it, she's probably going to be up there going, do you want to see live people? Like screwing ghosts out of their ghost money.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I mean, okay. Yes, I can imagine it right now. It's just like slightly visible little ghost dollar bills. And she's like, come over here. I can show you a live person.
Yeah. You want to see a person? Oh, look, it's your grandson. Oh, sorry. He's in the bathroom and he's 13.
Or no
refunds.
I was just about to say, come over, step right up, come over here. I'll show you your loved one that's, still alive and well on earth. Oh, looks like they're not at home right now. Okay, well, no refunds. This was your one opportunity.
And the ghost is just like, this is just a photograph in a cardboard box.
It does make you wonder, though, if there were a situation like that, what type of tools would she have? Because if you remember the type of things that they used when they were doing this ghost hunting and everything with, Amityville and Conjuring, whatever. I wonder what kind of tools that she would have there in the afterlife that would do this for her, a huge ass, because a lot of her work was in the 70s, right? I mean, a lot of their work.
She'd be like going to trick like the ghost of like Benjamin Franklin and shit. But then she'd like show him a ghost calculator and he'd be like, oh!
I know.
And be all excited.
Let me show you this,
Yeah,
Al. Hold on to your
Ben.
Hold on to your wig.
That's right. Hold on to your wig and stop trying to look down Cleopatra's shirt. I've got to get some money.
Oh my God, I'm in tears. Oh goodness. So, okay. Well, may you be blessed on your next journey, Lorraine. You will be, whether you believe she was a fraud or you believe she was real, you're still a pop icon in, horror. So we fare you adieu. So.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. All right.
Ghost's gonna get you.
Who are you going to call? Hey, who are you going to call now?
Yeah, that's right.
God. Oh, all right. That's terrible.
Ghost's going to give it to you.
All right. Okay. So now that we've thoroughly, covered, Miss Warren.
Oh yeah, she's getting covered all right.
Man. So, all right, Acadia, what would you like to discuss next? We've got a pretty good slate of things we want to talk about. Do you want to dive into American Horror Story now?
No, we got to save that to the end.
Okay.
Because
All
it's only
right.
going to take like 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah. The teaser is 40 something seconds. I think that they've come out with 2. I felt like I saw 3, but anyways, like you said, we will get further into that later in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of, interesting news around it, and I have some theories of my own on, how this is going to connect in the American Horror Story universe, because as we know, some way or another, all of these stories are connected, in the canon. So
yeah. So they say.
I know, right? I mean, wow, that's a whole nother 4-hour show right there, is how we try to just make sense of all of that. All right, so what do you have, Acadia? Do you have any?
I want to talk about the fact that La Llorona is debuting this weekend.
Yes. Now, can you tell me? Because I'm gonna be 100% honest and frank with you on this. I've seen the trailers. I've read into the movie and everything. Do you know what the legend of La Llorona is? Or, obviously, other than what they've told us in the movie, which is that she comes and snatches your kids. Is this like a urban legend in that culture, or what do you know more about it?
Oh, well, geez,
Nothing.
I didn't think you were gonna fucking give me a quiz. No, she's a ghost. It's a Mexican legend.
Okay.
And she is a ghost who drowned her kids.
Okay.
And she's always seen like crying for them. I think by a river, if I think right.
Well, I think it's probably by like any kind of water, right? Or are you just talking about the legend itself?
The legend itself is 100%. The legend itself is 100% Mexico River.
Okay.
She put him in a river, and then she got all sad. She was like that mom that drove all her kids into the water.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yikes. Yikes.
So, and the reason she's so scary is because her plan is to drown other kids, so like her kids will come back. She's not a smart ghost.
I think that we could have gotten Lorraine on this case. Maybe she could have figured out what was going on with her.
Lorraine can go up and interview her up there.
That's why I say I'm looking forward to if she's putting out any works in the afterlife. So because I noticed in the trailer that a lot of the scenes or the jump scares they're giving us in the trailer is next to water, because I believe one scene is next to a pool, right? And then it's because she has like the one little girl I saw, she has like an umbrella and she opens it and closes it and opens it, and then La Llorona is there, and then there's the bathtub, of course, as well. So, well, that's scary. I mean,
yeah, but see, now here's the problem. Latinos love horror movies, but from a box office standpoint, it doesn't seem like they super love going to horror movies that are aimed at Latino audiences.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to do, honestly. I guess we'll find out. We can talk about it next week. But I always want horror movies to do all right, except for fucking Blumhouse, because all his movies cost like 15 cents to make.
Yeah. Well, we have our feelings on Blumhouse.
Hey, but at least he's putting horror out there, so I'm not going to bitch about everything.
True.
But overall, I don't see a big thing coming out for La Llorona. I don't think that there's a. I saw the trailer in every horror movie that we saw. Like everything I've seen in the last goddamn month. No, more than that. 2 months.
Yeah, they've been chilling it for a while.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to see it, and I went to see. I'm not going to see that, but I did go to see.
Oh Lord.
I did go to see what the fuck was that one about the kid that got reincarnated? Because I talked about it on. I talked about it with Hannah on Castle Rock. Prodigy.
Okay. Yes.
And on Christmas, I went to see the Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes movie, and apparently that's the worst movie of all time.
Oh no. Not anything Will Ferrell does, right?
I know, that's what I said. But apparently nobody else agreed. And La Llorona has like a 30 something on Rotten Tomatoes, which everybody's gonna whack off on now and say that's the big deal and blah.
Yeah, I don't. I will say that I check Rotten Tomatoes to see what that their percentage rating is, but I oftentimes find myself not agreeing with those percentages because I can watch a movie that they have a seriously terrible rating of, and I think it's magnificent, and then I can watch a movie that they give 100% or something to, and I don't see it. So Rotten Tomatoes, you could take it or leave it on, what comes out of that for them. So because everyone is a film critic in their own right, correct? Yeah, I think so.
Sure. Anybody can say shit about whatever. I mean, it's getting paid for it. Look what we're doing. It's getting paid for it that matters the most.
Yeah. Remember, guys, Acadia's opinions, they might be, the first ones are free, and then after that, you have to pay for them. So.
Right, because they're facts, not opinions.
Oh, okay, that's right. I had to check myself.
I am generally right.
Oh, all right. I have checked myself, and I have recalibrated, and I'm sorry. Acadia's opinions are free for the first one, and after that, you need to pay. So, all right. Well, La Llorona, it looks interesting. I don't think that I will see it in the theaters.
No.
I'm going to be 100% honest here. I love horror films, but sometimes I get really super scared of movie theaters. I don't know why. I did go see the latest Pet Sematary in the movie theaters, and I believe that you and Hannah did a stream on a reaction and in-depth analysis on Pet Sematary. So y'all check that out on Superficial Gallery as well. But before that, I don't know if I could tell you the last time that I actually went to a movie theater and saw a horror film, because I don't know.
You're a chicken shit.
I am. It's crazy because I absolutely love everything horror. I will watch any horror movie. Maybe it's just the comfort of my home and knowing I can pause it and come back to it or whatever it may be. But okay, so we've talked about La Llorona. Let's see. Oh, so something I wanted to talk about, because I don't know, you'll probably realize this if you tuned in last season. If you didn't tune in last season, you could tell from my bookshelf behind me that I'm a huge Stephen King fan. And AMC is actually coming out with a series. I believe it premieres in June. And it is a series based on a book by Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's oldest son. It's called Nosferatu. That's how it's pronounced, but it is spelled out kind of like a license plate. So NOS number 4A number 2. This is a very promising show. It's gotten a lot of great critical reviews on it. I can't wait to see it. Now, I have not personally read all of Joe Hill's works, but I have read probably 6 or 7 of his books. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I have not read Nosferatu. So
I've read Hank Hill's works. I don't give a shit about Joe Hill.
Don't speak ill of anyone that's in the King family. I will not tolerate that.
Why isn't his name King?
Because he actually...
That would be like Bobby having the last name Treetop.
That's great. It's funny you say that, though. I mean, just as a little aside there, we all know why. Obviously, I think that he chose to go with Joe Hill and not Joe King because he's trying to distance himself from his dad's writing, because he writes in the same genre, so horror, dark fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of the thing. But he wants to be. He does want some recognition outside of his dad.
Yeah,
It's
and
funny.
also, no one would take him seriously if his fucking name was Joking.
Oh my god! This is a genuine reaction to that because I've never put that together until right now.
It's Joseph King. Nah, don't worry about it, Joking.
Okay, so maybe what all I just said is in the reality of it all. That's the spiel he gives. But in the reality of it all, he's like, "Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm not going to be joking. I'm just not going to be joking. That's just not going to happen."
Parents.
But yeah, so I do think it's funny though, because Stephen King's youngest son, Owen, he also put out, he actually co-wrote a book with his dad, Sleeping Beauties, which is really good. So I just think it's interesting, of course, that both of his sons are writers, but Joe's stuff is really good. So I'm super, super excited about this series. And I love AMC. I like the way that they take adaptations of works. I mean, we won't get into The Walking Dead, but because a lot of the seasons weren't that good. The last season was amazing. But so I'm just excited to see what they do with this. And like I said, this gotten a lot of great reviews. So if you haven't looked that up, check out the trailer. When we put this show up, I will try to make sure I include some links to the official trailer for that. But also check out the book. I plan on trying to read this before the series premieres, and I'm super excited about it.
When does the series premiere?
It premieres, I know it is in June. Let's see.
If you can't read a book between now and June.
I mean, it's the middle of April. I most certainly
that's what I'm saying. So I don't think you should say try.
So you were trying to be funny just then by saying, you can't read a book between then and now. It's premiering in June. Forgive me, everyone, for not having the exact date. Yeah. But so I'm very, very excited about that. That was one piece of news that I definitely wanted to. I knew
when La Llorona was starting.
I mean,
it's part of the Stephen King Renaissance.
All right, next time I'll be better prepared, and I'll make sure that I have all the facts right now.
Don't worry.
I know. All right. Well, I had one other, and I don't know if you've watched the trailer for this. I think you have, and I know on superficialgallery.com you can check out that website, our website, actually. But we did put a post out there with the trailer for this movie, and I cannot wait to see it. It looks hysterical. It's still in the horror genre, and it has like all of my favorite actors in it, but the dead don't die. Mm-hmm. So I actually had not heard about this film until I went to see Pet Sematary, and I saw the trailer for it, and I mean, I just can't wait to see this. So it's a zombie film, horror, dark comedy. But it has Adam Driver in it, who I absolutely love, and of course Bill Murray. Who else is in it, Acadia?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, Acadia!
What?
Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, Tilda Swinton. I mean, you can't do anything without Tilda Swinton. Oh, another. Yes.
Tilda Swinton was only hot when she was the White Witch.
Oh,
like I get she's got something about her, but like I don't know what that something is.
Well, to me, I think she's mesmerizing. I can't take my eyes off
I didn't say she wasn't mesmerizing, but like so would the Loch Ness fucking monster be mesmerizing.
Oh, Katia, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. It also has another American Horror Story, character, Chloe Sevigny.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never pronounce her last name correctly. My accent
She
will not let me do it.
she was in the movie Kids.
Yes.
Everybody, if you want to know what Generation X is, go watch the movie Kids. It was about um, kids in New York City. It was really, really good, and it was really, really depressing. But she was the only one that really made something of herself, like when it was, after the whole thing. It was a
Yeah.
1995 movie, I believe. It was sometime in the middle of the 90s. Anyways, and then she also like did a porn.
No.
Yeah. She was in this movie called Brown Bunny, and she was
Uh-uh.
like married
Uh-uh.
to the what?
It is a pornography film called
Well,
Brown
I
Bunny?
mean,
Or
no, it
is it
was
a
I don't know whether you call. All right, so it was a movie, but she was married to the director or with the director at the time, and I think he was also in it. And she blew him, but they like she really did. So it
okay,
was
so
super
it's one of
realistic.
those movies.
Yeah, but it wasn't though. It was just that part.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those movies that sometimes if you are like me and you like to scroll through YouTube and watch compilation videos, which I like
Unless
to
you put
do.
that on YouTube. You
No,
watch
but
TikTok compilations. I know what you do.
oh, okay. We'll have TikTok news also in a moment. But I do watch compilation videos, and I have seen out there. Maybe it's Watch Mojo. Anyways, I think I saw a compilation of where the sexual scenes were more realistic than you would think for a film. So I that might have been in there. I don't know, but uh, so TikTok. Okay, guys, I don't know if y'all.
We're
Let me
off the rails
wait.
now. I said
What?
TikTok. Now we're ruined.
We're not ruined. I want to pay respects to someone that I follow on TikTok. Acadia tried to get me to come around to TikTok for a very, very, very long time, and I never understood it. I couldn't get it. I'm old as dirt, so therefore it was over my head. Then I started finding things that didn't go over my head on TikTok, and therefore I became a huge fan. But there is one TikTok, and he also has a YouTube channel. Brendan, he has Jerry the Duck. We all love Jerry the Duck. But if you're watching, we want to give our condolences on the passing of Plunger Boy, Zaggles, the ferret. So it's really torn me up, Acadia.
No
And
one's gonna
don't
have a goddamn clue what we're talking about. So you're gonna. I don't even know how we're gonna fix this.
you don't
Like,
fix it. I just told everybody go to YouTube and type in Jerry the Duck, or go to TikTok and find Jerry the Duck, and then you'll see that Jerry the Duck is amazing. But there's also Jerry has little fur siblings that are ferrets and a guinea pig, dogs, birds. But one of the stars, Plunger Boy, which was a ferret that really just loved carrying the plunger around the house, basically, he did pass. So I just introduced all of you YouTubers, if you don't already know, that you need to go watch this amazing artist, person that posts on stop it, person that posts on YouTube and TikTok. But we have to mourn for Zaggles because he was an amazing little ferret.
I don't even know how you found out what his real name was. That's pretty good. That's good
Uh,
reporting.
it's
That's better
by
reporting than you've
listening.
ever done for the gallery.
Do you want me to? I can write an in memoriam. I could write everything about
If you put a
Zaggles.
bunch of compilation things in there that aren't just hit or miss, then yes.
So anyway, I just wanted to say that it hit me very hard. And Acadia, uh, this is what the audience may not know about you. You are a masked man, and you are very hardened, but do not for 1 second believe that he was not touched when I texted him and told him that Zaggles, Plunger Boy, had passed away, because I did get a response that said, "Oh my God, no."
Yeah.
So don't
No,
act like
see
you
what
don't
happened
know.
is they came out of order because you said, "Hey, we're really doing the show tonight, right?" And I said, "Oh my God, no!" And then you said the thing about the ferret, and they arrived at you out of order.
You're foolish, and you tell a damn lie. So quit. There's a heart in there. It's a masked heart, but there's a heart in there.
Poor ferret. So, all right, now we're going to talk about
the main event.
Yeah, American Horror Story. There's a lot of things, and our shows have to be less than 7 hours long this season.
I'm getting better.
Yeah,
do you not see my time track right now? I'm getting a lot better.
My eyebrows haven't grown out of the mask yet because I've been on so long.
Or the fabric of the mask hasn't grown into your skull yet.
Exactly.
All right. So, first of all, I want to say this as a disclaimer. Acadia just watched this teaser today. So I want you all to, on the count of 3, groan at Acadia. 1, 2, 3. Ugh, really, Acadia?
You really want to have this conversation?
Anyway, so back over to American Horror Story. Ryan Murphy, I think it was about a week ago. So now he released a teaser for season 9 onto Instagram. It is titled 1984. Let's see. What are some things about 84 that intrigue me? Well, it's a very special year to me. Also, one of my favorite Van Halen albums, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yes. Yep. And the 46-second teaser looks amazing. And it is going to obviously pay some type of homage to the bread and butter of our horror obsession, which is 80s slasher films, right?
Yes. Now
from what the teaser tells us anyway, right?
It looked like a teaser for a new killer for Dead by Daylight is what it looked like.
That too. Yeah, for sure. That was my
chain face.
Yes, that was my very first thing when I saw the. Okay, before we do that, let's talk about the teaser. It's in slow-mo. It's amazing. It is only 46 seconds, but it is very Camp Crystal Lake to me. Young girl in the 80s. You could tell that she's in the woods. Obviously, she's running from this masked killer that you then see, in different shots. And she runs into a cabin, slams the door. Of course, takes a few moments to take a breath because that's what we do in our 80s slasher films, right? We're like, whew, finally, we shut the door. We're just going to rest here for a moment by this door. And then just brilliantly, you see the knife come right through and you have a fantastic scream. And then it cuts off to, 1984 as the American Horror season 9 name. So we have that going for us. This song, even though it's not an 80s song in the first teaser, it's still an amazing, amazing, very creepy song that they had the teaser play to. And yes, he looks like a Dead by Daylight killer, which is fantastic because that's, to me, Ryan Murphy may not have even done this on purpose, but I love the fact that it could be seen as a little call to one of, the most popular horror games in the streaming world, right, Acadia? Because I know that you are a master at Dead by Daylight.
I love that game. You can even watch me stream it poorly. Well, the stream is right, but I play shitty.
I think you can still see old stream videos of you on the gallery tab.
Now I'm upgraded though, because now I'm going to be able to play it on the PC so that I'll be in the corner. So it'll be way more exciting that way.
You're stepping up your tech game.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have an awesome split screen and all sorts of shit with this, but that didn't.
I didn't say for this show, except for your streaming.
Yeah. Well, it's the same software. Okay. So, anyways, the thing I wanted to talk about as far as it being 1984 was number one, why. Oh, I know why, because Stranger Things is set in the 80s, and that's some nostalgia. And basically, Jen why the millennials kind of know what the 80s are. You know what I mean? But they didn't.
They don't really know.
Right.
Okay, I want to get myself in trouble here. First of all, I want to do a full disclosure. I'm on the cusp of a millennial. All right. So I am in that weird little gap that someone came up with.
You're in the Oregon Trail trough.
Yes. You mean Oregon? Yes, I'm in the Oregon Trail gap. It wouldn't be Males in Acadia if I didn't give you some shit about your accent.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm in that. So, I remember a good majority of the 80s. I was younger, but I still remember it. But, yeah, some of our younger end millennials, they just know the like you said, the Stranger Things and I'll see them having like 80s throwback parties and things like that. But they're like, I lived it, man. I had a mullet. When I didn't have a mullet, I had a side ponytail. I had the scrunched socks. Like it was just, oh man. I think I want to say those things were called skip-its or bop-its. Man, don't even get me started on those. Anyway, I had a Good Guys doll, but he had, well, not Good Guys. It was my buddy. Right? Because he had what was his sister's name? Kid sister?
Whore.
I'm getting way off track here, but you know what I'm talking about. He looks like the Chucky doll.
Yeah.
So Teddy Ruxpin, all that. Yeah. So yes, I'm in that small little gap where I remember a majority of the 80s, but I wasn't quite of age to where I could enjoy the 80s as a teenager or an adult. Right.
And I was too young to go to most of the good late 70s, early 80s movies, but I also lived through the entire 80s in a manner in which I was coherent.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's getting its time in the sun, I guess, one would say. Even though they've already, like, they tried to remake, well, they remade Miami Vice and nobody cared. that show, The Goldbergs, is supposed to be super funny. That's an 80s thing, but
it is funny. It really is, actually.
But like, it was weird to me that he put the name, the year in there, and then Patty Jenkins from Wonder Woman, she tweeted, "Dear Ryan Murphy, hashtag AHS 1984. Wow, what a great title. Oh, wait a minute. Love Wonder Woman 1984 hashtag."
Yes,
and then he said, the exact same thing. "Dear Patty Jenks, Wonder Woman 1984. Wow, what a great title. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, love George Orwell's 1984 with a winky face." So then all the fucking Ryan Murphy people started trying to go on blast on Patty Jenkins, like rich people don't care about what you do, Twitter nerds. Like, I don't know if you understand that, but
well, and I think that's kind of like what you're saying about there being a certain audience that this is going to be nostalgia for some, and then this is going to be something that is a newer type thing for them. And so the ones that went on the attack, I feel, and because I got it, and I loved the Twitter exchange, and I feel like the ones that went on that kind of defense thing they're just not of our age, I guess I should say. That'd be the nicest way for me to put it, right? Like they're not of our age to really know what that whole inner change really means, right?
Well, yeah, and they also weren't. I mean, she fucking hashtagged his show,
right,
to give a rub to his shit. Fucking people are stupid.
I know.
For fuck's sake.
Let's don't get on a Twitter rant, because that's another long ass thing there.
So that was the thing, and then my other crossover thing to other than Dead by Daylight was Mrs. Ack is finally watching Deadwood.
Oh, my heart. Mrs. Ack. Thank
Yes.
you. Are you excited for the movie? That's another. Okay, let's don't get me off sidetrack. I've watched Deadwood, the series, even though there's only 3 seasons. Anyways, I've watched it. I'm gonna get through this all in one breath, like Ace Ventura. even though there's only 3 seasons, I've watched the whole series probably like 5 to 6 times, and I cannot wait for this movie to come out. And I am so glad, Miss Ack, that you have now joined the Deadwood bandwagon. Go on, Acadia.
So I didn't realize I lost, like, I forget what we bet, but I lost because she was like, yeah, no, Kristen Bell was in it. And I was like, bullshit. There's no way that she was in it because she would have had a bigger part because she's a star, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wrongo bongo.
I know. Yeah.
She was in it. And then I didn't realize that Sarah Paulson was in it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then it occurred to me that the original show was 15 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was about to say, I was hoping you were getting there because I was going to say, think about the time frame because you really don't actually realize it until you, I mean, look at the years for the seasons that it was that long ago. Like 15 years ago. I mean, I remember 15 years ago, obviously. And so, yeah, like, so you think about your Sarah Paulson or you think about your Kristen Bell 15 years ago. And then it's like, oh, you probably wouldn't realize, obviously, at the time that they were in it because they weren't the quote unquote big stars yet or very, very well known during that time. You know, basically everyone just knew Timothy Oliphant, right?
Well, and I didn't know. I mean, the things I knew about Ian McShane were Deadwood, and he was the stepfather in Hot Rod, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, I love Ian McShane. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah, but now I want to watch Hot Rod.
But yeah, that's like.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. Anyway, the whole thing came down to Timothy Oliphant,
Dayton Cali. I would argue that at that time, I don't know, maybe a lot of people didn't know who Dayton Cali was, but I did. A lot of people might know him from Sons of Anarchy, but I knew him before Sons of Anarchy, and I knew him before Deadwood. He was one of my favorites on Deadwood. There's also that guy that I really, really love that's in the Rob Zombie movies. Well, Dayton Cali was in one of them, but he's also on Deadwood. I think he was the doctor on Deadwood. But anyways, that's either here or there. That's a whole nother story.
We can't cut it out, you know.
I know.
Anyway, the whole point was they made the movie because Timothy Oliphant realized I can't be the dickhead that doesn't do it. Yeah. So he was like, all right, I'll do it because I don't want to be the dickhead.
Yeah.
So that's
good. I'm glad for it, but it doesn't change my opinion of you being a dickhead because you didn't do it for so long. And we've waited 15 years.
Yeah, but he said it wasn't like they asked him every year and he said no.
No, but this Deadwood film has we're way getting off American Horror Story right now. This Deadwood film has been in the makes or like has been brought up in subject for probably a lot longer than you realize before he finally decided to come on.
There's not going to be any ghosts in it, so we can't talk about it anymore. We have to finish talking about it. Was just because Sarah Paulson was in it. That's why I said that.
We're flex. Let's get back over to American Horror Story.
So, if it's going to be set back in 1984, then, I mean, it's not going to have anything to do with any. There'll be characters that were alive in 1984.
Yes.
But I would find it very difficult to believe that, you know, any of them went to a fucking summer camp at a lake. However, I would not be surprised.
I just want some clarification. Sorry. You are talking about how this is going to tie into the American Horror universe, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Because I have a weird theory in the back of my head. But go ahead.
What was the name of the serial killer in Asylum?
You got me, Bloody Face.
Yeah, Bloody Face.
I think it's Bloody Face.
Or son of
as
Bloody
a
Face?
no. Wait, right. The
Because
Lana
that was the
Winters,
60s, right?
right. So Lana and Bloody Face, the doctor's son, who was Dylan McDermott, because we did see him in present time in Asylum. Because in Asylum, didn't he kill Adam Levine? Gosh, that's so terrible.
Fucking Adam Levine.
But yeah, but so yeah, that was my very first thing when I saw the killer was, I started thinking, okay, have we had any quote unquote serial killer type things in the canon yet? We did in Asylum with Bloody Face, and it did show uh Dylan McDermott as Bloody Face's son in the present day when he was speaking in therapy, right? Because Lana, spoiler warning, I don't, this is American
No
Horror
spoiler
Stream.
alert. It was fucking.
But Lana did kill him in Asylum in her old age. So that was my first thought was, okay, we've had some hint and we've got some seed there to a serial killer, which it very well could be young Bloody Face. The timing would be right? Because Asylum was in the 60s. She had the baby in the 60s. He would be in his 20s in the 80s, right? Like early teens,
So.
20s. So, and then if to complete his storyline, he did get murdered by Lana, but that was in the 2000s, I suppose, if it was set in the current time of the show, right?
Yep.
So that was definitely my that was definitely my first thought was, could this be Bloody Face's son, Bloody Face Jr., BJ? I cracked myself up. Anyway, so I'm very excited about where this season is going to go. I will say something, to what you mentioned earlier about Ryan Murphy. We all know that he's known to sometimes drop out or drop hints and put things out there. And sometimes it will put you way in left field to what his original or what his actual thought's going to be. So I will say that after the teaser, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I was super amped up about it being, 80s slasher, film type season. Right. I'm not going to lie, though. I did start down the path of what if this is just a fun teaser that he put together for this, but it is going to be do they say Orwellian type thing? But then I started to think he's kind of done that in Cult a little bit, right? So, well, touched on it a bit as far as like,
yeah, like getting a bunch of people to do stuff. But honestly, I don't think he's I don't think it's to mind with him is never nuance.
Right. Well, and I don't think that it's gonna take that turn at all. Obviously, I think that he's put out some things since he dropped that teaser it's not going that direction. But it was definitely something that first crossed my mind was would be a twist that he's not unheard of for him to do, where it would be something totally different. I do have some very horrific news about American Horror Story Season 9. It will probably be pleasure to your ears when I tell you this, because you won't have to hear about it for a whole season from me.
Boom, boom.
Evan Peters will not be in this season.
Boom, boom. That's right.
And
I know why.
Well, we all know why, right?
Why?
Are you talking about because of X-Men?
No.
Oh, well, never mind.
We
don't all know why then, or at least I'm in the dark.
I am talking about scrawny goddess Emma, who has been with the little fucking fancy fucker since, like, for her entire 20s.
They broke up?
Yes, she clanged him in the head with a frying pan or something the cops were called, and then the whole thing got diffused because they were fancy white people. But
exactly.
I think he doesn't want to be on the set because she's going to be on the set.
All right. Now, I'm going to give you a little personal opinion here, okay? If that turns out to be the reason that Evan Peters decided to, quote unquote, sit this one out, which I think is what he's been quoted as saying.
Because he needs a break because he's been working so hard.
I would like to point out that another favorite show of mine that is a wild success also has a pair of scorned ex-lovers in it, and then they still made it work, and that was Game of Thrones. And I won't go into details if you don't want to get on the Game of Thrones train, but there are two actors.
Bronn and
Cersei.
Cersei, right?
Right. And they're
not in a lot of fucking scenes.
Well, you don't think that he could have had a character on here that didn't have a lot of scenes with whomever the Emma Roberts is going to play? Anyway, see, you and I, we're on the opposite sides of this spectrum here. My scrawny god is Evan Peters. Your scrawny goddess is Emma Roberts.
Yeah,
and you've
won
this season.
We're fucking helping each other.
No,
as far as I'm concerned, you can dump him out and like lure him away from the set.
But you won this season because he's not in this one. Now we have to hear about you.
Yeah, but he's been in every other one, and she's only been in like 3.
There's a reason for that. We have to hear you lament.
I will
lament.
I will cut your face. So
now you know why we were on hiatus for so long. Everyone.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. So Evan,
the frying pan.
Right. So Evan Peters, sadly, he's not going to be in this one. Another kind of semi-surprising thing, which I think might, I don't know how to feel about it, is that we don't really know if Sarah Paulson's even going to be in this season or not. She's she's got other things that she's working on right now, but she's been very tight-lipped about if she's going to be in the season or not.
Yeah, but what does in it mean? Because
well,
I mean, how much was Jessica Lange in Apocalypse? You know what I mean? Like, you can just fucking trot him out there for a minute.
You're right.
It's so I don't.
You're right.
That's just going to be clickbait from now until the end of the last episode, because they're fucking it's like wrestling. They're writing it while it's happening and running out with script pages. But Sarah Paulson was in Glass over the summer, and that was a hit. I mean, a modest hit, but a hit.
Yeah.
They fucked it all up at the end, but whatever.
No spoilers on that because I have not seen it yet. Don't tell anyone. So, So, and that might be one of those plays that we said earlier, where it's like, okay, well, we're not going to let the audience. We've already told them. We've already broke many women's hearts, including mine, by letting them know that Evan will not be returning this season. So let's don't break too many hearts at one time. And whether Sarah's going to be on board or not, we don't know. I was reading this article. It had me actually kind of laughing a little bit because I think the title of it was like 10 things we know about season 9 from American Horror Story. One of the facts, though, was that it's going to debut in the fall. We already knew that, people. It comes out every fall.
I hate those fucking articles. Mostly because we can't get anybody to fucking write them for us. Like listicle bullshit. Like, it's going to be on television. Number 4, television can also be said as TV.
Yes.
Right,
yes. And I think this is to go without saying that they did kind of confirm that it will be based at a summer camp. So if you didn't realize that from the trailer, then
I hope it's in Maine, because there's lots of good summer camps in Maine. That's where the movie Lake Placid took place.
One of my favorites.
And that's where the camp in Wet Hot American Summer was.
Another one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Yes. So maybe it will be in Maine, and maybe you're just not telling me that you've got a guest appearance on the show.
Oh, that would be the best.
Wouldn't it? So we're super excited about American Horror Story. I obviously we're several months out from its debut, but I know that they're rapidly releasing information about it because, like I said, I think it was a little over a week ago that this 46-second teaser was released, and then I think not too long ago they've already released another teaser. Did you watch that one? Because I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And that was pretty. Maybe I shouldn't laugh at this, but that one was very humorous to me, and I had a great time laughing because I think this one is where they look like hedge clippers, and it's just like body parts just flying everywhere. And to me, that's funny.
Yes, well, that's why we're on this show.
All right. Well, we're very excited for the obvious return of American Horror Story. We know it's not going to be the last season. And we're super stoked here at Superficial Gallery and American Horror Stream that it is.
No, it's American Horror Stuff.
Oh, God. Hold on. I'm writing this down right now. So American
Better
Horror.
write
Okay.
it down.
All right. And American Horror Stuff that it's going to be, 80s slasher flick. Because obviously majority of all of my favorite horror movies are exactly that. So, any other news you have or anything?
Oh, I have some news.
Give me some more news.
All right. Well, you saw the Joker trailer, right?
Oh man. What about that trailer?
So, well, here's why I care. Because in the beginning, he was giving his mother a bath, which is creepy.
Well, we didn't say he had an easy life.
No, but did you catch the reason why I care? You didn't, did you?
I'm going to really get filleted over this after the show, guys, just so you know. Tell me, Acadia, why?
Oh, I am going to. Where is it? Hold on.
You need some Jeopardy music?
Yeah, but I also need my like it's asking me what windows I want to share, and that's terrible.
Oh no, because I know.
I know.
Spoiler warning, everyone. But Acadia has.
I got a lot of research going on. Hold on.
Well, while you do that,
wait a minute. There were people in the chat, and I didn't even know it. Jen Crowder and Damian were in the chat. Sorry, there were too many windows open.
Oh, hi,
y'all. I blame Mel's for not even trying to look.
It's my fault.
It really is.
We just really set our expectations a little bit lower and just decided that no one was going to be watching us. So
yeah, and you know what? Danielle said something very, very interesting. This is way early for
American Horror
Story because she rightly pointed out that the last one, not Apocalypse, but Cult. Cult was not even, you didn't even know what the name of it was until after Comic-Con. And Comic-Con was in June.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. You're right. Like they've released a lot of information about this before. Oh, it's Francis Conroy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I knew that. I didn't know if you. Okay. Let me back up here and let me redeem myself for a moment. I knew it was Francis Conroy. I'm not. That's for real. I'm telling y'all the truth. What I didn't know, Acadia, was if you had a story that was also similar in your life that was touching to you, and I should have known that.
No. I'm just talking about that. That's as close to Francis Conroy getting naked as is going to happen now.
Oh yeah, no. I mean that. Yeah, you're not get bigger.
They're not. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Francis Conroy, the amazing Francis Conroy. I love her.
Even though she was only in one episode of Castle Rock, and don't get me started on that.
Well, Oh. My mom, she just visited with me for a little while, and I finally got to introduce her to Castle Rock. It was a very, 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 very nice to watch that series all the way through again. But I share your thoughts there, Acadia. It's not fair that we didn't get her in a lot of those episodes. So, but yes, back to what Dave Meow said. She's absolutely right. They've put out a lot of information before Comic-Con, which is pretty unheard of for them, really. I mean, they don't really usually do that. And it is very early on. I mean, we're, like I said, we're a lot of months out from fall.
Fine. Well, here's what I say. The show's over. Because I just realized that, like usual, we've been on for
come on,
2 hours and 75 minutes.
No, we haven't.
Which I guess would be 3 hours and 15 minutes, but whatever.
We haven't been on that long, Katie.
Yeah, fine.
All right. So anything that...
Right? 10 o'clock next Friday?
10 o'clock? Hey, same time, same bat channel?
Yeah.
Right?
That's how we do it.
American Horror Stuff. Anything that you want to put out there, for me, if you don't mind, it would be hop on over to superficialgallery.com. Check us out. Also, check out what we mentioned earlier, the show, Yikes, Murder and Stuff. We just like to goof off and have a really good time talking about true crime and weird facts.
I'm drinking out of my microphone.
Shut up, Acadia. Okay, for anyone who wants to know, when we were doing our little testing of everything, I told Acadia, I see everything, I see your microphone, and he started drinking out of it, and it was his coffee mug. And Acadia, you have Castle Rock Historical Societies. It's amazing podcast, obviously. You've got a stream out there. Everybody go check it out. Anything else that you want to put out there, Acadia? Any good vibes you want to put out to the world?
I wish Lorraine Warren the best.
You're on mute. Okay, this is the universe telling us that Acadia doesn't have any positive vibes for the world.
How can I be on mute?
I see you mouthing mute. It's okay. Wouldn't be a live show without something like this happening to Acadia. Well, Acadia, let's go ahead and do a sign off. Tune into us next week. We love you all. Thank you for stopping by. And bye.